Isis, Shalom, Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum salam. What you're looking at right there is a beast, but I'm not going to get into that right now. It's a picture I took in 2014. One of the last pictures of, yeah, anyway, basically what I'm going to show here is one of the so-called coincidences, which if you've watched or heard anything I've said, I pretty much tell you I don't believe in coincidences. No such thing. I just know God, whatever again, what you want to call it, the uncomprehensible. It's there, and it talks to us more than we realize. But again, I'm not here to prove that. That's up to you. But I'm gonna try and show. I have a million of these stories, but every now and then I capture one, and I can almost prove it, and not prove it, but prove it in my own right if I'm honest about it, and if it's coming from an honest place, then the message will be yeah, heard by whoever it needs to be heard. You see that? Beast. It's deep. Or you could think of it as a lion in the background, but I don't know. It's got its mouth open and you see its fangs. Anyway, so coincidences. I don't believe in them. I know this is how God talks to us. How we can understand how to actually probably stay out of trouble. Like kind of like spidey senses, and I mean that respectfully. We have signs, and we don't listen to them at all, and they have more than we realize. But it's a question of you listening to that and not listening to it. But this is an exact situation of what I mean about how God talks to us and through us. And this happened during with my ex-girlfriend, which we were, I hate using this word spiritual. I'm not really totally sure what it means. I understand it, I grasp it, but I'm learning that a lot of stuff we know as being right is actually totally wrong. I'm just trying to rethink how to describe our connection. But we had it. It was a positive one, and I wish it was more of a better word. But we had a lot of talks here and there. I thought we were spiritually there, and again, that word spiritual. We had a connection. We had a lot of coincidences, which weren't coincidences, happening. Between dreams and other weird things that are not weird. And this is actually one of them. One of our talks at one point, well, not one of our talks. I think I was doing most of the talking. I was letting her know about what I came across in India, about what I read. At the time, I didn't take it seriously. Not as I'm taking it now. I wish I could remember it better. But essentially, the books I was reading in India were like from the 1880s, literally, and they have just a different way of divulging, I guess, vital information that they wouldn't let you know now, and it's up to you to take it seriously or not. But I see it now, and I get it, and I see why some of this stuff is kept secret, because some people just they I don't know, they make a mockery out of it if they don't believe in it. And that's fine. Again, I don't believe I know. I know it exists, and I know that it talks, and I know everything that I'm going through it is for a reason. Hard to grasp. I am a hypocrite, no doubt, but it is happening. I do my best to walk a straight line. I'm no righteous man. I'm not trying to be. I'm trying to just do my best. I've made mistakes, and again, all this could be a lie, or you could take it for truth, but this is all truth. So let me get to the story. This isn't about my ex. This is about the connection we had in this realm of I don't know, physicality compared to non. So I shared with her a theory of mine that came about from me literally reading books that I came across in India and other things, and experiences, and just a culmination of over 2.5 3.5 years, 2.5 in India. And you come to terms. You have to. You either lie to yourself or you don't lie. And I've lied to myself in the past. I don't want to do it no more. I've stopped doing that a long time ago. It's a childish, adolescent thing. And if you can't come to terms, and you don't see what this is all about, and that's cool. In time, I guess. Anyway, one of my theories, because of what I've read, was that we were living literally in hell, and I mean this literally. And I grew to know that that's where we're at. That's where I'm coming from. There is no hell to go to. You just reincarnate and come back here. You die in fear, you come back here. That's what I learned in these 1880 books, and other things and other things and other things. And we keep coming back because of our fear of our fear of loss and other things, everything that they're doing. So we keep coming back to this bubble, this realm. And it's what I figured out was that, because of what I was reading, what it was saying is that we live here with Satan. Satan fell to earth, and we live here with Satan. That's the idea. That's how we're supposed to look at it. Not that you die and you either go to heaven or hell. That's duality. That's not what it's about. But I mean, again, I'm not here to prove that either, talk about that. But again, my theory was that we are living on hell in Earth. Earth is actually already hell. It's a place that you succeed and you'll die at any moment. It doesn't matter, or you lose it all one way or another. But if you knew what reincarnation meant, reincarnation was meant for greedy people, is the way I see it now. You don't want to keep coming back here. You got to pay to live on Earth, if no one hasn't figured that out yet. And that's not what this is about. We're not supposed to be paying to live on a place that's here with nobody's name. You don't own it. Not the water, not the food that grows. And I don't know, our selfishness has, it's grown to overpopulation in small places when there's plenty of room to spread out. We're supposed to be farming more than anything. But anyway, I'm getting away from the subject. Point is that I was talking to my ex about this theory, and we talked a couple times here and there, and I know it to be true. I'm not dismal. I'm not suicidal. I'm not crazy. I'm not taking drugs. Yeah, I smoke my weed, but that don't make you crazy. But that's for you to figure out. I'm not here to prove that or not. That or is or isn't. But point is that we had talks, and this is one of the little things that she actually listened to. I was surprised, actually, because it panned out. Now, she had seen this movie called, let me see if I could get it up here. See that? She literally seen this movie, and I don't know, it caught her attention, because the movie, it's not about what you would think based on what you're seeing here. And even if you look at the cast and crew, Colin Farrell, Jessica Brown, Finlay, Jennifer Connelly, William Hurt, anyway, you see all the names, Russell Crowe. There are actually some big names in this movie. But the one big name in this movie that they don't put in is Will Smith. And Will Smith is in this movie. And I'd like to give it away, because it's actually a very interesting movie. If you understand occultism and mysticism and occultism and the Bible, and I'm not saying I understand it. If you've come across any of that stuff, This is based on all of that. It's a mismatch of all of that, and it's not what you think it is. But you know what? Yeah, I guess I have to tell you about what it is. But in the movie, Will Smith plays Satan, and Will Smith isn't here. He plays Satan in this movie, Winter's Tale. And they don't put him anywhere. Even when I had the DVD to this, they didn't put him on the cover, they didn't put him on the back, they don't even mention his name. And that's interesting because what this movie depicts is hell on earth, and it's actually here. It's not above, it's not below when you die, but it's actually here, and you're living in it. And all the wicked things that happen are because of Satan's trolls, all his dominion, all his little partners in crime, literally. And in this movie, Will Smith is, oh, you got to see it. It's incredible what this movie depicts. But it depicts exactly what I came to conclusion about because of the things that I read in my experiences in India and all that other nonsense. And anyway, so she had told me about this movie, right? Check this out. Bomba Clad. And I never got to tell her this because we broke up right after this when I put it all together, when I discovered what had happened. And it's too bad because we had a great connection when it came to this, and she didn't realize it. She, I don't know, she got a flat screen TV and she started losing her mind and did something stupid. And don't worry, I did something stupid also in return. I shouldn't have done it, but I mean, sometimes that's the way you got to retaliate when you feel like people keep taking advantage of you over and over again. And I'm not saying it was right, but I retaliate. Nothing bad, but I'm a dumbass, so I said I did something stupid, but nothing that couldn't be forgiven for, And that's all right. That's how women are these days. They're unforgiving, and that's cool, but whatever. But one of the things she told me about was this movie, and I don't know if we watched it or not together, and I didn't put it together. I don't think we couldn't watch it together because it wasn't until afterwards. But in this movie, ironically, and this is what I mean that God speaks. He lets you know that you're correct about what you're talking about. Not saying I'm correct, but I tend to think I'd like to think. I'm not saying I know. I'd like to think that I have it somewhat right. That you're not supposed to spend your time gathering money on this place and gathering and thinking you're keeping it. That's not what we're supposed to be doing. And we're so involved in things that are not important, and seeing how the cell phone has taken over some aspect of our consciousness that wasn't there before up until the 90s. It's interesting because people are just, I don't know, losing their minds. But anyway, I'm not saying I'm not. Yeah, that's another story. So in this movie, ironically, and it's not ironic, and it's even coincidental, but it's not coincidental. And I got one of the scenes from the movie, and it's hard to see, I guess, but in this movie, this is the movie scene right here. You see the front of his house, see the steps, see that light spot in between the steps. All right, part 2 is coming up.